Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and this time I talk about Friday the 13th Part 3, which was shown in 3D. Now, Friday the 13th Part 3, what more can I say? It was all once again read by Steve Miner, who did Friday the 13th Part 2. And, long story short, the beginning is the events of Part 2, leading up to our new cast of characters in Part 3, which they're not really camp counselors, they're more like just kids who are going to go off to this house. It's a house with a barn next to it. And, of course, they get killed by one. Once again, it's directed by Steve Miner, who did Friday the 13th Part 2, who for some reason doesn't want to talk about the movies, but yeah, he can go direct the Day of the Dead remake, which was pure dog shit. And he did do commentaries for that for some reason. I don't know why. Although if you have that old box set that has the DVDs like this does actually have a commentary with Dana Kimmel, Paul Kratka, the guy who wrote the book, Peter Bracke, he's the moderator. Richard Brooker, who played Jason. I think Larry Zerner, who played the Shelley, the sort of guy who plays pranks and jokes on people. Now, the big thing about this film is that A, it was shot in 3D, so you get a lot of instances where people are getting a yo-yo to the camera, or they punch out a window, and 3D shots. And the second thing is the introduction of the hockey mask, which of course a lot of people take credit for. But it's hard to go into these sequels with, pretty much everybody knows these sequels anyway. You have the opening, where you have like these two people who they're just there to get killed, but it's like they own this store. I always remember the guy there. He'd always he pick up this rabbit, and he's always stealing food from his own store, and his girl gets mad at him. Stop that shit. It looks at her, he's just fucking donuts, and just keep stealing his own shit from the stores, being hungry. I thought that was kind of cute. It's like, it's his own store, but he's just stealing all the shit, just picking and all that. But then he gets a meat cleaver in the chest, and this woman gets thing like knitting needles, like through her mouth, like through the back of her head. And like I said, it takes place right after Part 2. And Dana Kimmel, who I know she was in Lone Wolf McQuade. I think she was played Chuck Norris's daughter. She didn't go on to do much. I think she's one of those people who's not really a fan of R-rated movies, even though she did the commentary for this. So she doesn't really do movies much anymore. Not one of my favorite leads in the Friday the 13th films. She's down there. I like Amy Steele a lot better. She's my favorite. Adrienne Keene. The girl in Part 4, I forget her name right now. When I review Part 4, I'll think of it. Even the girl in Part 5, Part 6, Part Lincoln, Part 7. Sorry. She's not bad, but she's okay. I think characters people remember most is either one of the two stoner, like the stoner couple, and the guy looks a lot like Tommy Chan, and probably Shelley, sort of the practical joker guy, Larry Zerner. I thought he did a good job. I know now he's a lawyer, and from what I understand, heard from people, he can be kind of a douche. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard. But I will say Larry Zerner did a good job as Shelley. He's the prankster guy. He pretends one point that he's dead, but then he's faking it. Like, I guess he's good with effects. The funny thing is when they're going off to, I guess, a little vacation at this property, he only has his little case, but yet he has a spear gun later on, and like this wetsuit, and the hockey mask, and like he can fit all this stuff, but he only has like a little suitcase. But of course, it's because of his character that Jason gets the hockey mask. And basically, they get killed one by one. And You have Danny Kimmel's character, where you have Jason is creepy in this film because he's kind of like a perverted version. Does Danny Kimmel, her character, have been sort of attacked, I guess, years before, which we know is Jason. And he's like trying to grab her, and it's almost as if he wants to do more than just kill her. I mean, you get that sort of inclination. Even where a moment where at the end where she hangs him and he gets hung, and he lifts the mask, and she's like, "It's you." He doesn't, but it's almost like he was going to lick his tongue. He doesn't do that, but it's almost like, I don't know, just a sort of creepy look, creepy Jason. So I thought Richard Berker did a good job with it. Of course, you have the bikers. Like, I know one of them would go on to be in the original Fright Night. Guy who played, I think, the character Ali, Nick Savage, who I liked. I liked him. But like Shelley and this girl, who I liked the girl that he had kind of a crush on, but she didn't really want too much to do with him. I think it's Catherine Parks as Vera. I liked her too. To be honest, I liked her more than Dana Kimmel, but that's me. I know Dana Kimmel did that film, Sweet 16, but I haven't seen it. I think that's how she got the job for this film, because she was in that one. But, kill-wise, you get a lot of good kills. Like that girl I was talking about, Vera. She thinks it's Shelley, the guy with the hockey mask, but then she's like, "Who are you?" And he shoots the spear gun and goes right in her eye. The boyfriend of the girl, lead girl, gets his eyes popped out, which, granted, nowadays you just see like the wire, but boom. Let's see, what else is there? The bikers who get killed. One gets a pitchfork. Trying to think, the best kill is probably the guy who's walking on his hands, and Jason goes, "Fuck you!" Like from, can't show you, but if you're walking upside down and you have a machete, it goes, boom, you know where it's gonna go. It really just looks painful. Anyone who's a guy is really painful. Boom. That's probably one of the best death scenes in the whole franchise. Just makes every guy cringe, and just the way it was shot, very sort of visceral impact. Just a very painful death. That's probably the best death. One of the best deaths in the franchise. But like one gets hot poker, one gets electrocuted. I didn't even notice one of the people who get killed. The actress's name is Tracy Savage. This is a girl who would go on to be like an anchor woman. She's the one who gets in the hammock, and so the ode to Kevin Bacon's death, where she's in the hammock, which granted makes no sense. I mean, she walked and put in the hammock. How come she didn't notice that Jason was under her? But she was looking through the Fangoria magazine, and then gets the knife from her back right into her, out of her chest, kind of like Kevin Bacon and Arrow. Watching it, I didn't realize her character was pregnant. So really, that counts for 2 deaths. If you watch that film again and you see that character Tracy Savage plays, her character's name is Debbie. It's the woman that gets killed in the hammock reading the Fangoria, the knife from underneath, out of her chest. You hear before that she was pregnant. I'm like, shit, Jason killed a pregnant lady. Didn't realize that until seeing it again. And that is, that is the truth. So I'm like, oh shit. I guess some people, sort of pass that by, but I thought, oh, okay, that's crazy. But I really enjoy this film, this installment. Granted, I know nowadays you look at the 3D shots and it looks kind of goofy, but it has a certain charm to it. I mean, of course, you have the opening music. Ba, 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 ba. Dum, 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 dum. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Do, 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 do. Da, 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 da. This is a great score by Harry Manfredini once again. Definitely, I always like that weird I don't know if you want to call it disco, whatever you want to call it, type of music. Uh, Definitely music that you remember. The 3D shots would give a little bit of a charm. The Mask introduction was a nice introduction, nice choice. Richard Berger did a good job as Jason. Um, Good kills, especially the guy on his walking on his hands, and Jason goes boom from nuts to neck. Overall, it's a fun installment. I don't really have much problems with it. Fun ending where she's trying to fight Jason, hits him with an axe. He still keeps going. Before that, that character Ali, you think he's dead, but the thing of it is, if he came back, I think should have been a longer fight between him and Jason. Would have been a nice surprise if somehow that character lived, but you know, I did see him just pop back out for distraction so the lead girl would live. Because then he cuts his arm off and then keeps hitting him, making sure he's dead this time. Um, I don't really have much problems. I mean, the 3D shots may seem a little bit cheesy nowadays, and David Kimmel's not the best lead. She's okay, but not the best lead. But overall, it's a fun movie. Um, Pretty fast paced. Nothing that new about it, but you do have the introduction of the hockey mask. You do have some good kills. Harry Manfredini's score. The 3D shots sort of give a nostalgic, fun vibe to it. And you have little bits, like I said in the opening, where the guy just keeps stealing his own food. Or like when they're going, they meet this guy who I guess supposed to be like a crazy wealth type character, but he has the eyeball. He gave this to me, and you're like, what's that dude's story? You never see him again. And just a lot of fun, very entertaining, and I don't really know what more to say. I mean, I know they had another 3D version of the film released with 3D glasses. I don't know if that actually does work or not. I mean, for understand, it looks more like just a hologram. But for those out there, you can let me know. But yeah, Jason killed a pregnant lady in this film, and Larry Zerner again. Whether he's a douchebag in real life or not, he did a good job as Shelley. Kind of liked his character because he was trying to get attention. Yeah, a little bit of sympathy from him. He did a good job, gave the character some little bit of personality. Like when him and Vera, again, Catherine Parks, who I liked, they go into town, they meet up with the bikers, and it's like, I believe that's my wallet. Can I trouble you guys with buying you some beer? And gets his courage and runs over one of their bikes after he accidentally hits their bikes, and Nick Savage's character punches right through the windshield and the window. Um, Fun character. So yeah, I mean, one or two decent actors, decent characters. A creepy Jason seems like more of a pervert. Good kills. And still that fun Friday the 13th vibe. And the hockey mask was a great look for it. But once again, Harry Manfredini's store. But either way, I'll end it here because I don't need to go too much further. It's hard to pretty much same kind of plot, but still a fun installment, very entertaining installment. So either way, thanks for watching. Take care and stay tuned for the final chapter. Bullshit. But talk to you later. Ciao.